I just returned from Mexico last night, and I have to share a most wonderful experience that I received while I was in Mexico, and that I want to continue to extend to anybody who is ready to let go of some old unconscious beliefs that are hidden at the bottom of the barrel. When I was in Mexico, I met two women in particular who are doing the Choose Again practice that Diederik Wolzak has a few centers around the world teaching. And so I was introduced to the practice and started to use the practice in the community that I was staying in while I was in Mexico. I have never had such immediate freedom happen as I experienced when I did this practice. And I'm going to start an online community where we can support each other and do this practice to help free each other up. So I'm hoping that you will email me or message me at healingwisdom7@gmail.com after you finish listening. So the experience that happened was we were to bring to the group that we were forming an experience where we had some conflict, something that was uneasy in ourselves. And for me, I just had an unusual experience with a man who was an Italian guy who was cooking this spaghetti dinner, and he grabbed me and started turning me around dancing to When the Moon Hits Your Eye Like a Big Pizza Pie. And I kind of pulled myself out of this experience with him, and as I went back to my room, I noticed how angry I was. So angry. And I knew I would share this discomfort as soon as the group opened, which was in 15 minutes. So the way this works is you identify immediately who it's about, who is having the experience. And I was able to clearly see this was my experience, and this was about me. This wasn't about the guy with the dancing and the spaghetti dinner, but something about that had triggered something that I needed to find. There was some freedom there, and I didn't know how to get to it. So I was handed a list that had feelings on it, many feelings, and I went down the list, and I came up with I was feeling terror, I was feeling victimized, I was feeling helpless. There were several feelings, but the most clear for me was terror. I was feeling terror. And so then in the process, you close your eyes and allow yourself to drop in and let some of the earliest memory that you have that's connected with this feeling to arise. So the memory popped up and shocked me, and tears just sprang out of my eyes like hoses. And of course, at first I thought, oh, it can't be that. No. And there was a large group of people around me, but I was so invested in getting free, I didn't care. And I just let what came up come up. And immediately, peace returned. And the woman I was working with, Deanne, helped me to remember who I was and helped me to really put together the belief I had created out of that early experience where I felt so much terror, so much abuse, so victimized. So once that was done, we entered into a beautiful process forgiving each other, forever forgetting the truth of who we are. And it was done. And I was free then from a belief system that had been influencing me my entire life. And I could see that thought system exposed. And now I was free. I no longer needed to choose the feelings and the thought system that went with that experience. Okay, so that's just it briefly. And please email me if you're interested in this. It's very easy. It's immediate, and I'm so anxious to get this going and get a group of people together that are really invested in waking up. And waking up now. Waking up each week when we do the process together. I'm not sure of the time or the day yet. I'll have to wait and see who wants to join. And then I will come up with a really good time and day of the week for all of us. And right now, I'm not thinking that there's any charge for this except for your investment and the deepest commitment you can have to free yourself up. And then if you feel like donating to keep the group together and to support this ongoingly, we'll talk about that. So if you feel inspired, get in touch with me. healingwisdom7@gmail.com. Judith Harrington. I'm trying to think of some kind of a Spanish word to say adios. Adios. I'll wait until you get in touch with me.